white supremacist, background of violence, a background that includes threatening to kill others, and also a manifesto that reads like a segment on Tucker Carlson's show. I kid you not, this evil scum decided to go to a black community to kill black people. That's what he did. While he's committing murder, while he's committing a mass murder, he sees a white man and he says, sorry. There's no question about the racial element of this hateful act of terrorism. He was apprehended. According to the reports, witnesses say he was still armed when the police came. The police did not shoot him. You have to contrast this reality to the fact that black men in particular are shot all the time without being armed. As a matter of fact, many of them actually will have their back to the police. Hands up, no weapon. This individual was still armed, committed murder. He was apprehended. According to witnesses, they came and spoke to him first and then apprehended him. There's more. Remember, this, according to the manifesto, was about something called the Great Replacement. What is the Great Replacement? According to white supremacists, the Great Replacement is a conspiracy that says basically that Democrats and black people and brown people are in a massive conspiracy to simply replace white people in America, and white people must fight back through violence in order to stop this grand conspiracy. Now you may be wondering, well, where did he get this from? Let's go to the first clip.
I know that the left and all the little gatekeepers on Twitter become literally hysterical if you use the term replacement. If you suggest that the Democratic Party is trying to replace the current electorate, the voters now casting ballots, with new people, more obedient voters from the third world.
Replacement theory, replacement ideology, the great replacement indoctrination. Once again, the manifesto of this killer read like a segment from Tucker Carlson's show. Who else said they will not replace us? Here it is.
Let's see who's been chanting about replacement.
Jews will not replace us! Jews will not replace us!
Yeah, that would be white nationalists and neo-Nazis at the Charlottesville Unite the Right rally.
There's more.
This is a voting rights question. I have less political power because they're importing a brand new electorate. Why should I sit back and take that? The power that I have as an American guaranteed at birth is one man, one vote, and they're diluting it.
See the connection here? Tucker Carlson deserves to be in prison. Let's put up a picture of the mass killer, okay? His name is Peyton Gendron. 18 years of age, white male, allegedly carried out a racist attack at a supermarket in Buffalo, New York. This was Saturday, killing 10 people, injuring 3 others, according to authorities. Almost all of the victims were black. The suspect, who live streamed the mass shooting, is believed to be the author of a document posted online detailing his white supremacist ideologies and his plan to target a black community in New York. There's your premeditation. You have premeditation, you have indoctrination. You know what you don't have? You don't have conservative leaders giving a damn. What has Trump said about this? Or McConnell? Or maybe Matt Gaetz or Marjorie Taylor Greene? Or perhaps some of the other Republicans in the social narrative, like Candace Owens, Charlie Kirk. Where are you? Do you not represent any level of values and morals? Well, let me correct myself. Candace Owens did actually say something. She said, this is just the media twisting things out of context, basically. They don't care about black lives at all, is what Candace Owens said. Steve Bannon, he's still telling you about golf tips on his social media. Mitch McConnell, has said nothing. The Buffalo, New York shooter has been exposed as a racist man who believes in the conspiracy theory that Democratic leaders are attempting to replace white people with people of color, known as Great Replacement Theory. The Fox network is responsible for elevating the idea to its millions of viewers many times. The evidence we uncovered so far makes no mistake. This is an absolute racist hate crime that will be prosecuted as a hate crime. This is someone who has hate in their heart, soul, and mind, said Buffalo Police Commissioner. You know what he's not being called in the media? A terrorist. I want you to think about this. We just had a mass shooting. No one died, but it was a mass shooting. People could have died. Black male carried it out. This was a few weeks ago. They immediately called this an act of terrorism. They called him a terrorist. Look at the headlines. You know what this killer, this terrorist is avoiding? That particular narrative. As a matter of fact, there are some anchors who have already posed the, well, what about mental health issues? You know, the 18-year-old brain is not fully developed. Fascinating. The typical, let's find a mental health excuse for a white killer. There's more. Let's put up a picture of the people who made this killer, all right? Those are his parents, Paul and Pamela, okay? The FBI is now interviewing both of them. They work as civil engineers with the State Department of Transportation, government employees. According to law enforcement sources and online records, the couple, Paul and Pamela, are cooperating with investigators, according to the AP. Let's talk about the weapon. Let's talk about the carnage. The weapon was an assault-style rifle with characteristics that made it legal in New York. It was similar to one used in other high-profile mass shootings, such as Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newton, Connecticut, and the Waffle House restaurant in Nashville, Tennessee. But the gun had been illegally modified after purchase, according to officials. Now here's what we're gonna do. I couldn't sleep last night. I'm tired right now. When I tell you I did not get a wink of sleep, I could not sleep at all. I dread days like this. I don't want to report on things like this. But it's necessary for the sake of truth. It's necessary to become an advocate for the victims and to fight against those who would like to normalize this kind of behavior. We are going to show you, and I am going to call out the names of every single person this killer killed. Let's put it up. Aaron Salter, 55 years of age, a former police lieutenant who worked as a security guard at the store, was shot and killed after confronting the shooter at the front entrance. He's a hero. He tried to save lives. He was killed. Ruth Whitfield, 86, was a beloved wife, mother, and grandmother, her lawyer said. Pearlie Young, 77, who ran a weekly food pantry, was shopping for groceries for the food pantry when she was killed. Catherine Cat Massey, 72, was a writer who wrote about gun violence in her community and was part of a community group that helped local residents. Haywood Patterson, 67, would drive residents to get their groceries and volunteered at his church in his free time. Celestine Chaney was at the grocery store to get shrimp and strawberry shortcake. The 65-year-old delighted in her role as a grandmother most of all. Roberta Drury, 32, was at the supermarket to get food for dinner. She often shopped for her brother and his family who lived near the Tops grocery store. Her brother is recovering from leukemia, he told NPR. Marcus D. Morrison, 52, of Buffalo. He was the father of 3 children. Their mother told local news, WKBW. Andrew McNeil, 53, of Auburn. Geraldine Talley, 62, of Buffalo. You know, this country has a fascination with guns and violence. I don't know what it's going to take. You know, this is as clear as you get. This should be a nonpartisan, gut-wrenching, everybody who has any level of common sense and decency in their soul should be on one accord right now in this country. But they are not. You know why conservatives won't say anything? You know why conservatives will not aggressively denounce this kind of action and behavior? Because they depend on racist scumbags to remain in power. That's why. That's it. And for the most part, they are racist themselves. This is a clear definition of what this country is. Ms. Dahl, thoughts?
You know, first of all, I mean, I also kind of just was dreading talking about this because there's really nothing I can say about it that would adequately express the horror of it. The pure evil of somebody killing somebody because of the color of their skin and these people going about their daily lives. It's, you know, I want to say, I'm sorry for everybody who's ever experienced hate because of who they are and violence against them because who they are. That should not ever happen in this country. And our acceptance of it is making this country unlivable. And I think people have to say, it's not going to happen to me in order for them to accept it. If you really thought the next time you were going to go to the grocery store, you may get shot at, then you would go running to try to change the laws. But there's this denial, this collective denial that it may happen to them, but it's not going to happen to me. And it's really dangerous. And it's going to, I think, continue to make our country more unlivable.
Yeah. And here's the reality. There are some elected leaders. There are some conservative thought leaders. They are glad this happened. They support this kind of action. They may not say it on the record, not yet. But their silence is deafening.